Hello friends, this is the Cryptonian taking a look at Bitcoin, and currently Bitcoin is at 26,461. Now you can see that we've had this pump here, this pump up into diagonal declining resistance here, which is this white line. So, I've talked about this as a possibility before in previous videos. And so here we are, right? We had this pump to the upside. Not really a pump, right? It's just an upward impulse. A pump, I think, for me, a pump is much greater, right? A pump has more significance, I think. Anyway, that being said, we did get this move up into resistance. And now, as I said before in previous videos, the question is, will we have a higher pullback? And then will we have a stronger impulse to the upside, bringing us to the second diagonal area, right? The second resistance area. So this is what I'm waiting for. Now, this is on the 4-hour chart. You can see that we had the breakdown. The breakdown is resistance. That red line now, red dotted line showing resistance. By the way, that's what I really like about this Cryptonian suite system that I created, is that it has these red lines, these dotted lines of support and resistance. Down here, when price is above the dotted line, it flips it into support. When price is below the dotted lines, those are areas of resistance, and we can see that we just created an area of resistance right here as well, where we experience the rejection on the price action there. So anyway, the point is this: the pullback will tell us everything. Are we going to pull back and hold this area, go sideways, and then pump up again? That is the question. Now, currently, RSI is 57, so we are slightly bullish. We're getting up to 60, gaining strength. The EMA trend is bullish. Now, this is on the 4-hour. We did get to B2, right? We've talked about level 1, level 2 signals. This is a B2 signal. B2 signal is a buy signal of the second level, and it is showing that there is strength in this move, right? That we did actually get a green cloud that has developed, and so we have the potential to go higher, right? Now, that being said, I call these signals S1, S2, B1, B2. These are sell and buy signals, but they're not, I'm not giving you advice, okay? These are short-term moves. These are more like impulses and short-term trends. So if you're a trader, I'm not a trader, I'm an investor. If you're a trader, then these are more significant for you. I use these signals, I created these signals so they can actually give me an idea of whether we're going to go into a stronger move or not, early signals of possible reversals, that kind of thing. And so you can see that when we consolidate, we see those signals quite often, especially on the lower time frames, right? This is a 4-hour. So we did go into a B1, level 1 signal, and then a B2 right after that. That is saying that this tells us that this is a significant move to the upside. However, like I said, we're running into resistance here. Resistance is currently at this price point of this resistance line, 26,855. 26,855. We do look like we want to go higher because it looks like we are not selling at this point too hard yet. Now, we're above the point of control. The point of control is 26,050 right here, this orange line. You can see that a volume traded node is developing. And so to remain bullish and go higher, we need to stay above that point of control price that we need to hold on to. 26,068 is the price. So if we can pull back and go sideways here and then break out to the upside, most likely we will then probably push up into this greater trend that is the upper resistance line, this descending diagonal line up here, the second white line. And so that is somewhere around, let's see here, somewhere around 27,800, 27,700, something like that. So that could be the next price target. The second line of resistance here is 27,314, so that is significant as well. And that's coming in at this area here. So it just remains to be seen how committed and how strong the bulls are to see if we can push past this area of resistance up into the second level here. And then, of course, we'd have to pull back from that, holding these lines. These lines that are red now would have to flip to green. We would have to hold that one. The first one we don't really have to hold, but the second one we probably need to hold that. But that is still yet future. Now, I told you before, what I'm expecting is not much until next Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the FOMC meeting, and so that's going to be very significant. That's going to set the tone, the sentiment, the emotion for the market. And if it's hawkish, then the market's probably going to continue sideways or maybe even go down. If it is dovish, positive, then we could see a rally here. So next week is going to be significant. Remember, this is October. We're coming out of October. September. I'm sorry. This is September, middle of September. We're coming out of September, going into Q4, October, November, December. And so Q4, I'm expecting some kind of a rally, some kind of a significant direction change in the market. If not Q4, then definitely Q1 of next year, right? January, February, March, sometime within those first 3 months. So, but usually in crypto, there is some type of a significant move that comes in just before the holidays, right? There's that holiday pump. So that being said, that's really kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a higher low here. I'm looking for the price to hold that point of control, 26,050, which is that volume node that was developed from all this trading action here, all of this consolidation. So most of that node is developed for accumulation, right? If that gets broken, then a lot of them could sell, and that could put us much lower. Now, this is on the 4-hour chart. Let's take a look at the daily. Well, actually, let's go back, look at the statistics on the 4-hour. 4-hour chart, 57 RSI, so it's, it's in the bullish territory. The bulls have control. We're above the point of control here, which means the bulls are in control. RSI is above 50. The EMA is bullish. We're in an EMA trend. We can see the cloud here is green. And we're coming off of a area of support, significant support for since the end of last month. So the DMA is bearish. Okay, that's because we just had this little pullback here. Okay, so this is why the DMA has changed. DMA is very sensitive to direction changes. And then we see that we have this red arrow signaling an impulse to the downside, right? Now, it's not significant yet. This is what we're expecting. I'm expecting some type of a pullback. And then to hold this area, if we want to go higher, we have to hold this area, and then we'll have to make another push higher. Now, we could make that second push higher over the weekend when there's low volume, right? Low liquidity. And so, therefore, it's easier to move the market. So we could see that. Today's Friday. Going into the weekend, we could see this just kind of meander sideways, consolidating a little bit, and then pushing up higher, making another run for it over the weekend in anticipation for next Tuesday, the FOMC meeting. Usually there is a rally or at least a lot of volatility going into the meeting because bulls and bears are both fighting for control. The bulls will expect the FOMC to be positive, the bears negative, and especially, the bears are going to expect it to be negative because of the recent data for inflation, right? So this remains to be seen what's going to happen next week with the FOMC and the Fed. Now, that being said, we are currently under the daily pivot, and that's because we're having a slight pullback here, although we are above the 3 daily support levels, right? We have contraction, so we're not in expansion anymore. This move is pretty much over, and we're in contraction, but we do not have the reversal yet, right? Or I should say, this move is not over. We're still in it. We're still in. Excuse me. Still in the move. We're not in contraction, but excuse me. We're not in reversal yet. But the power of the move is over, right? So I'm expecting some type of a consolidation here or a breakdown, right? So that being said, let's go into the daily. Now the daily is pretty clear here. I'm going to talk about some levels here. Now you can see just how we have all of this transaction volume here just above us. On the daily, this is a significant chart now. On the daily, we have this death cross getting ready to cross, although what's interesting is the 50 is starting to go flat and the 200 is starting to go flat. So they could actually maybe, if we have a rally, if we have some type of a significant rally, this has to happen soon, we could avoid that death cross here. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now on the daily, we do see we're negative for the day, which is not surprising because we're at resistance. And we're still under let's take a look at our signals on the daily. Technically, we're still under an S2 signal. Still under an S2 signal. That S2 signal is bearish. So the bear trend is still in play. And that's pretty obvious, right? Because we're still in a red cloud where the 30 right now is providing resistance. But if we continue to go sideways, we could actually turn the cloud green and go to into some kind of a rally, some kind of a move higher here. So the pullback for this little move here, let's actually go back to the 4-hour and I'll give you a dollar amount for the pullback on the fibs here. On the 4-hour chart, our fibs coming in at about 25,709. 25,709 is right here where we have a Fibonacci level, which is the golden pocket for the bulls. So I'm not going to get too excited if we have a pullback. I'm not going to get too excited until we break and lose that 25,717. If we lose that 25,700 level, then that's telling me we're probably going to come back down to the 24,900 level, 24,950 level, like this. The only hope then would be a double bottom and some type of a strong impulse to the upside. Now, if that doesn't happen, if we come down, make a double bottom, go up, get rejected, then that's going to be bad. And then we're going to see a loss of this level and most likely go much lower, probably 22, 21. Okay. That being said, let's go back to the daily again. Here on the daily chart, we can see daily RSI. Although everyone is excited about this pump here, or this impulse, I call it. I don't really call this a pump. I call a pump going into, on the daily, a green cloud. See, that's a pump. See that? Okay. So right now, this is just an impulse to the upside. Over the last few days, we're still making a lower high. We're still under the 200 and the 50. And we're testing right now the 30, trying to get above it. So this is the concern. We're in resistance right now. So I'm not calling a reversal yet. Okay, we have to see more progress to the upside by the bulls. The EMA trend on the daily now is bearish. DMA trend is bullish because we had this signal B1 early signal, possible reversal taking place, but we'll have to see. We need a B2 signal to follow up and confirm the reversal. Just like we had here, we had the early S1 up here before we were breaking down. Then we had the S2 signal, and then we then broke down. So confirming the downtrend and the trend reversal into the red cloud, the bear cloud. So that being said, we're not structurally, nothing has changed. On the chart, structurally, nothing has changed, and we're not in a new established trend yet, right? I'll accept that we're in a new trend to the upside when we get that B2 signal and we hang on to that. And then, of course, the bulls have to push it higher. We're in expansion, okay? We're still in this expansion move here for the bulls, and we don't have reversal yet. So this impulse is not over. This impulse to the upside is not over yet. It could continue. And like I said, going into the weekend, we could have, you know, bullish momentum pushing higher because of low liquidity and less participants in the market, and it's easier to manipulate the price. However, right now I see nothing that has changed the structure, so we are still in a downtrend officially. Volatility is very low. Volatility is 8. So even with this push on the daily, we're still under 15 or 10, which is, you know, when we have volatility under 15 or 10, this is sideways consolidation. So although we have an impulse to the upside, I'm not considering this much of anything except for sideways consolidation at this time. This can change, of course, going into the weekend or even next week, right? If we start pushing higher like this and get that B2 signal. That being said, let's take a look at some of the other tools that we have here. So taking a look at this multi-stochastics, this is showing momentum, and I created this because it really gives us a nice look at everything at once. It's a 1, 4, and 1 day setting, 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day setting, and we can see that stochastically speaking, we get really good cycle signals and impulse signals with this tool. And so what I'd like to show and focus on is we have, let's see, where the 4 hour is getting to reset, is starting to reset, which that is significant. However, our daily is up here maxed out, and we're at resistance, still below the 50 and the 200 on the daily. So that's a little concerning. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have to hold on to 26,000. Yeah, we're gonna have to hold on to, I'd say, let's say, let me look at this here. Yeah, we're going to have to hold on to 26,200. 26,200, I think, is the line in the sand here. If we lose that 26,200, then we're definitely going to be testing down here somewhere, which is okay, because that will still catch an opportunity for the golden pocket, and you know, then the stochastics, then these tools will reset. These indicators will reset. So, but we do have possibly the 4 hour resetting here, and then we could continue. This could continue higher, but we're still going to have to get above the 200 moving average at 27,025, that area, right? Now, that being said, let's take a look at a tool that I created. This is a volume tool, The volume tool, let's see, what's the setting here? All right, so the volume setting is This is the Cryptonian volume mod. Now we have the volatility mod. This is the volume mod showing data for volume action. We did have here 3 red bear diamonds, and so you can see that we had a weak push to the upside, and then we actually came down and retested this 24,950 area. Then we had a nice push to the upside. We're now seeing a change of color on the Cryptonian volume mod band, and we're getting a green diamond. Now we've seen that before. We saw a green diamond here, okay, after this strong move higher, but because it was so strong into resistance, we then lost that signal and went into 3 diamond signals. So this is my question. Are we going to then see 3 bearish diamond signals and then see us come down and hopefully hold on to this area? Well, for me, I'd rather to go lower. I prefer to go lower. I want better prices. And so, but I know that the bulls are hoping for hanging on to this area and going sideways and then breaking higher. We could, and this is another option, I've talked about this before, we could kind of just slowly grind this area out until the bears give up, and then the bulls can then take control and push it higher. So this here on the volume is good news. And you know, it's no surprise, right? Because we have this impulse to the upside. However, the structure is still bearish. We're going to have to see a rise, like here. You want to see a rise in this band. It turns green and then it starts to rise aggressively as the price is rising higher. And so that shows you that volume is coming in. A lot of buying volume is coming in and it's raising those prices. That's really what the bulls want to see. And we had 2 bull diamonds here at this time when we were having that impulse higher. So if we hold this area, okay, then we can have another bullish diamond, bullish green diamond, and then most likely we'll probably go higher and break out and then retest this 26,800, 900, or 27,000 area, which is this 200 moving average on the daily. Now, let's take a look quickly at the weekly. I don't want to make this video too long. Here on the weekly, you can see that we have a nice impulse higher, and this could be the beginning of some weeks pushing up to 27, 28, maybe even 29. However, when we take a look at the structure, we have to get up to at least 30,500 to really turn this area into a sideways consolidation channel. Remember, I talked about this before. I've been talking about this for weeks, ever since we've been down here, okay? And even up here, I think I mentioned it. So that being said, this could be the beginning of multiple weeks going up into some type of a larger move. And we're not going to really know that until we see a structure change on the daily chart here, right? So taking a look at the market, we can see that the market is optimistic. Arweave up 9%. You can see that pump. So what happens is we see the Bitcoin price push higher into these moving average lines at 250, and then if Bitcoin holds the move, then you see some of the altcoins, right, will then pump up, and you can see this one's pumping almost to the 50 here above the 30. And so this is not any real major move. This is still a downtrend, but you know, this is trading, day trading activity, manipulation, because the smaller projects, the smaller coins with lower market cap are easier to manipulate. So be careful. I would not be chasing this. I would not be chasing this. You want to be buying it down here. I would not be chasing this up here. Okay? Not investment advice. I can't give you investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I've seen this time and time again. Okay? Don't be the guy or the girl, the gal that buys high and you're buying off of the sellers that bought much lower. Don't be that person unless we're going into a structure change, right? This you just don't want to buy this, right? You want to buy pullbacks. You want to buy this. Anyway, again, not investment advice. 1 inch up 3%. Aave is up less than 1%, but you can see how Aave is mimicking, following Bitcoin in the structure, right? So that's why I like Aave. Aave and Bitcoin are in tandem right now at this time. Algo up a couple of percent. You can see everything is pretty much mimicking Bitcoin, following Bitcoin, but to a greater or lesser degree. Ethereum making another move, but let's be honest, Ethereum is putting in a lower high, and this is this is looking pretty weak, and I've discussed that in the Ethereum video. If you want more information, go ahead and take a look at that video that I made earlier on this channel. Filecoin 3%, still in a downtrend, trying to level off into sideways consolidation. So if Bitcoin goes higher, then these other coins probably will go higher as well, but Bitcoin will probably go higher first. Ruin, another trading coin. Look at that. Nice impulse to the upside, 7%. Render, almost 4%. Push it. Now, Render's been going up quite some time, and you can see that it's pushing higher up into the 200 moving average, and that's because Bitcoin is pushing up into the 200 moving average, or we're not quite there yet, but you can see how the coins mimic Bitcoin. When Bitcoin pushes up into the 30, these coins do too. When Bitcoin pushes up into the 50, these coins do too. And when Bitcoin pushes up into the 200, the coins follow eventually. If you're in a good project. If you're not in a good project, then you're going to see something very, very weak. VeChain, look at that. Nice pump for VeChain. VeChain's up 2.64%, but you can see this entire move here over the last few days. You can see this is a 18% move to the upside. And I mentioned VeChain before. Now it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Look at this. This is a double bottom. I'm going to make a video on VeChain here. This is a double bottom, so this looks really nice. Now we're still in a downtrend, but this could be moving. This could be, changing direction, changing around. But Bitcoin's going to have to continue at the first before VeChain will follow. VeChain is very cheap here, 0.017 cent, less than 2 cents. Now remember, in the last bull run, I think VeChain went to 32 cents, 31, 35 cents, something like that. I'll have to take a look at that. So anyway, friends, that is Bitcoin. That is the market. I don't want to get too involved here. Actually, I'll take a little bit of pause here and take a look at dominance. Bitcoin dominance is, you can see, gaining strength here. And so Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin's going to be where you want to be when it starts moving higher. If it does, if it breaks down, then of course altcoins will bleed a lot worse than Bitcoin will, right? But right now we can see over the past, I don't know how many days, the Bitcoin dominance going up, but now you can see it going down. So now you can see we're having a little shift to the altcoins. Altcoins are catching up. Bitcoin made the first move, dominance went up. Now the dominance is going down while the altcoins are making their move. You see how that works? Altcoins are making their move. And that's how the market works, friends. Anyway, that is it. One other thing I want to mention, on my Twitter X account, there is big news, and you want to pay attention. The Twitter X account, my Twitter X account, the Cryptonian 2.0, is in the description below. I would invite you to go ahead and excuse me, sorry about that. To go ahead and follow me on the Cryptonian on Twitter X if you want more news related, fundamental related information, because that's what I post. That's where I post the fundamental and opinion stuff is on my Twitter X account. So that being said, I just posted a little while ago the news that Grab, which is a Asian type of a Uber transportation company, it's just like Uber here in the West. You have Grab partnering with Circle on taking crypto payments, establishing a crypto wallet, NFTs, etc. So this is very, very important. This is big news. It shows you that crypto is here to stay. It's an emerging technology. I think it's going to be one of the most, the highest performing sector along with AI over the next 10 years. I truly believe that. So if you want to take a look at that, go ahead, visit my Twitter X account. Go ahead and follow me if you'd like to get additional information there. And we will see you in the next video, friends. Thank you for watching. I apologize for the video being a little bit long, but just wanted to cover all of what we needed to cover today going into the weekend. Thank you very much. Please smash the like and subscribe if you have not already. Take care. We'll see you next time.